Hello everyone! This is Pakshta Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. Today I'm going to show you a new video on how to work with the basic patterns. These tutorials are very important. I've already told you that it's not enough to make a basic pattern. You need to know how to work with it. One of the most important things is being able to work with the necklines. I want you to be able to draw a neckline of any shape you want by hands. Imagine you want to make a garment with a boat neck. What would you do? You'll start looking for the tutorials on how to make it. If you know how to work with the basic pattern accurately, you'll be able to make it without any problems yourself. I want you to be able to draw and wear anything you want. Have a look at the table. This is my basic pattern. I'm going to show you how to work with the necklines. It won't be convenient for me to work with a neckline with the dart being here. I'm going to move it to the side seam. For it not to be that long, I'll move the side seam a bit, for about 2 centimeters. This is how long the chest dart is going to be. I'm going to cut the pattern next. Notice that I haven't changed the waist tucks. I've just moved the side seam for 2 centimeters. Anyway, I'm not talking about the waistline now. I am going to make a video on how to work with the waist later. There are different ways for making the garments fit you perfectly. Next, I need to move the chest dart to the side seam. It should be done just for it not to be placed here. The dart is going to be slightly biased. I remind you that you can draw the dart however you want. This way, that. You can make it horizontal. You can make it go slightly down, or even down to the very bottom. All of these options will be right. You can place the seam however you want. Anyway, this is not what I want to talk to you about today. We are talking about the necklines. I'm going to show you the most simple types of the necklines today. In the next videos, I'm going to show you some more complicated shapes and designs. The chest dart should be closed. Be very attentive, please. When you move the chest dart, it doesn't matter where exactly you move it. These angles should be altered. I'm going to show you how to do it. Let me put a ruler here. It's obvious that I need to cut about 3 millimeters. It should always be done, each time you move the chest dart. Это всегда и всем. Как только подняли вот эту часть плеча туда, у нас всегда вот тут получается, ну вот смотрите. Have a look at the armhole. It doesn't look accurate this way. This is why the slope of the shoulder should be changed for about 4 or 5 millimeters. This is a must. If you don't do it, you won't be able to make accurate shoulders. This is one of the things you should pay attention to when working with the patterns. The shoulder dart should also be moved. I'll move it to the back neckline. I'm preparing the basic pattern for working with the necklines. The original dart opening should be closed. That's it. I can start drawing the neckline now. I've moved both the chest and the shoulder dart. What is also important is that you need to know what exactly you're planning to do before you start working. I want to make the neckline 2 centimeters wider. In order to do that, I need to match the shoulders first, and then measure and mark 2 centimeters in the bolt details. You can make the necklines as wide as you want. I want to make a beautiful round neckline. What does it mean? I want to make the front neckline 3 centimeters deep. This is how it's going to look like. I don't want it to be too wide and too deep. I'll make the back neckline just about 1.5 centimeters deep. Make sure that you're working accurately. This is the accurate round neckline. You can see that it's not deep. That means that I won't be able to put the top on and off this way. I will have either to insert a zipper in the center back seam or make a tiny slit with a button here. There's nothing else to do but to make kind of a fastener when making garments with such necklines. What if I make both the back and the front necklines deeper? I'll make the front one about 5 centimeters deep and the back one about 2 centimeters deep. Watch the way I'm doing it. I'm showing you how to draw accurate, beautiful necklines. This is how the front neckline looks like now. It's still not too deep for me to be able to put a top on without a fastener. What if I make it not 2, but 4 centimeters wide? I remind you that we have to match the shoulders when working with their width. Watch what I'm doing. The neckline is 4 centimeters wide now. How deep should it be? About 10 centimeters deep on the front. Don't think that it's too deep. It's not. Have a look at the position of the bust top. Here it is. Now you can see that the neckline is not too deep. I also want to make the back neckline a bit deeper. This is how the neckline is going to look like. It's accurate. If I want to make a really deep neckline, I need to make it about 5.5 centimeters wide and 15 centimeters deep. Do not forget to take into consideration the position of the bust top. I live in the south of Russia. It's very hot here in summer. Such deep necklines are very convenient in this case. I'll also make the back neckline a bit deeper. Have a close look at it. The dart is pretty long. Do not forget to stitch the left part of the dart when neckline is ready. It will make the garment fit the body perfectly. There's one very important moment though. If the dart is just about 1 or 1.5 centimeters long, you don't need to stitch it. If it's 4 centimeters long, you will have to do it. All of these options are accurate. The first drawn neckline wasn't deep. Such necklines are perfect for the classic sheath dresses or some business dresses. Can you imagine a business dress with a deep neckline? It wouldn't be appropriate. Anyway, the neckline is okay for casual clothes, which you wear when going for a walk, for example. It's also perfect for those who like wearing different accessories. As I've already said, all of these options are accurate. Have a look here. It's also possible to draw the back neckline differently. If you want to make it deeper, you can draw it this way. The back neckline is 9 centimeters deep now. What about the shoulder dart? It's just about 1 centimeter long now. There is no need to stitch it. Ignore it when cutting the fabric. What you can do is to iron this part accurately before stitching the details. I want you to understand that you can draw a neckline of any shape, width, and depth you want. Watch what I'm doing next. I want to cut this neckline, the deepest one. When I do it, I'll show you what to pay attention to. I'm going to shoot many more tutorials on working with the basic patterns. Please, be patient. I also want to cut the deepest neckline on the back. Imagine I'm making a summer top with a deep neckline. Have a look at the end of the dart. There is no need to stitch it. This part will be cut in a bias, so it won't be hard to iron it in such a way that it's of the needed shape. When you cut the necklines, you need to measure the shoulders this way to check if they are even. If they are not, you need to understand where and when a mistake was made. Let's continue working. I've reached the point where I can decide where to move the chest dart. I've decided that I don't want it to be placed in the side seam. I want to move it to the front neckline and make 2 pleats here. There's one very important rule. Before making an opening in the front neckline, you need to measure it. Watch how I'm doing it.
Вот смотрите, я измеряю вырез.
31 cm in our case. I'll write the measurement down. 1/2 of the front neckline is 31 cm long.
Вот она. 32 я сказала, да?
I remind you that this is the center front. I'll sign it as well. Did I say 32? 31 cm. 1/2 of the front neckline is 31 cm. Next, I need to move the chest dart to the front neckline. Why haven't I done it before? Imagine there was a dart here when I was drawing the front neckline. I wouldn't be able to draw and cut it accurately in this case. I remind you that it's also possible to make pleats here. This is how the pattern looks like now. If I didn't measure the neckline in advance, it would have been too complicated for me to work with it now. I remind you that in my case, the length of the neckline is 31 cm.
Вот моя выкройка во что превратилась, смотрите.
As I've already said, if I didn't measure the neckline in advance, it would have been too hard for me to work with it now. In our case, the neckline is 31 cm long. I'm making these tutorials for you to be able to work with the basic patterns without any problems. Next, I need to check if the shoulders are even. I know for sure that the side seams are even, because I haven't changed them. I've showed you how to make accurate round necklines. The chest dart is accurate. It was just made shorter.
У нас отлично вот здесь станет объем груди. Вот наша выточка нагрудная. Просто она укоротилась. Вот она.
It will still make the garment fit the body perfectly.
Тоже ничего страшного в этом нет.
You can either make a regular dart here, or make a couple of tiny pleats, for example. You can also draw the princess seams through these points. They do not necessarily have to go to the shoulders. Today I showed you how to work with the round necklines. I showed you how to move the chest darts, how to alter the shoulders, how to move the side seams. This is not the last video on working with the necklines in the basic patterns. I want to show you how to make square necklines, V-necks. and some other different shaped necklines.
Как сделать вырез каре, как сделать фигурный вырез.
When we're done with the necklines, I'll show you how to work with the armholes, how to work with the waist tucks, and with the darts, how to make princess seams, how to make the side details instead of the side seams. When you learn to work with the basic patterns without any problems, you will be very happy. Ladies, I want you not to learn to sew fast, but to learn to sew accurate, high-quality garments. Nowadays, people tend to do everything fast. We've forgotten about accuracy and quality. I'm talking not only about sewing. Let's go back to our roots. There's nothing wrong about it. I'm going to make many more tutorials on working with the basic patterns. It takes me just a couple of minutes to do what it takes someone a couple of hours to do. Why? Just because I know how to do it. This is what I'm here for. I am willing to share my knowledge with you. I have a huge sewing experience. Next time, I'm going to show you different types of the necklines. Don't be lazy and don't be afraid of experiments. Let's be different and beautiful together. That's all for today. My name is Paukšte Irina. Subscribe to my channel, write comments, share the videos, press the like and the bell buttons. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.